This is Justin AMZN on Wednesday, September 29th, 2021. Looking at the 5-minute here. So I drew this in yesterday, and you can go back and watch yesterday's video talking about all kinds of patterns and things. But we had this shaping up, and it did continue a little bit more this morning. And then we got the start of the handle, so cup and handle, and then we never went higher. So we held the same resistance that we had retested right in here. We stayed below, or stayed, only at the level of this opening candle from yesterday with the massive gap down. So all we really did is make a really big S curve in the bearish direction and started to do another one here. This is looking more bearish. It's not recovering. It didn't have a massive gap up. At one point, I think it was a little bit higher, but not enough that it was going to really crush. And it didn't even push all the way back up to 33.6680. So we're below that price too. So now with this continuing down into more of this kind of a channel, and then getting some recovery this way, this turned into kind of a move lower, a bear flag that recovered back up into about 50% of this level and came into the same resistance here, about 33.30 that we got up to here, and we had gotten not quite up to that high. And then we started to roll over. So there were some opportunities to buy puts way up here. There were some good levels, I think, on this candle. But let's zoom in on just today, and we'll take a look at how the options are moving. So here's the 33.50 put, and the reason I looked at this one is because the price through here got really steady. So this was a great place to set up an order to buy, like at 6, right in the middle of these candles. It was pretty steady through here. We were making a slightly lower high. This had the potential, if you didn't, if you back it up to right here, it still had the potential to bounce and go higher. And I was anticipating that cup and handle, and the handle portion to continue and move higher. But you can't ignore the fact that we really set up a really good base down here. And we were talking about that some yesterday and this week as well. And off of this base, it really had a strong launching off point on the put. So if I move this back forward, it's easy to do this now, after the market's closed, and you can see how the day moved. But looking at what's going on here, you've got the consolidation right through here. It's definitely compressing. You've got the put making a really nice, just sideways base move through here. If I could just draw straight, there we go, just really sideways while this is totally compressing. And then while that's happening, we're getting similar, let's see if I can match up the times. This was across 10 o'clock. So yeah, we're getting similar compression here, just lower highs, higher lows. And you want to see it break out and move up. That's really what you want to see, and it doesn't. This candle starts to go down, then this candle, when you have that on the put, you get a gap up, and then this candle continuing, and now you're right at, right almost at this previous resistance on the put and potential support here. We push right through that with this candle, that one. We're starting to break down, like this is the last chance. This support, that's the last chance, and we don't even hold that. We go through here, we go sideways. Now it's a matter of kind of retesting below that. You can almost shape this up like kind of a double top, and it doesn't really even have that kind of a retest, like it's a flat retest. And while that's happening, you're getting a stair step here. It does do a little bit of an S curve and then continues higher, and you get a little bit of retesting here, not quite into the 21, but enough that it's rested enough. You've got kind of bookends with these bearish candles here and here for rest after battle, another one here. So all this is a really good stair step to say we should continue to push lower, and we did. And so at this point, you can, get into something here like buying at 10, stop down at 9, and looking for on a Wednesday 3R. That would have been a great trade with a move back up to like 13 right into the resistance from the open. Push on past that, or you can move to another option, something next week, something a little further away to give you a more comfortable risk setup. So maybe you're not risking that like full amount of 10 by 9, which would have been like that whole candle there. But there are definitely other setups on other options that would allow you to kind of take this. So like this candle here, it's right under $1. The high being right at 10.01. So buying here at 10, stop at 9 would have worked on this option because it did move, it did continue. But had you bought, let's see, if you bought that a little bit early, you possibly could have been stopped out if you had an order open and somehow something filled. But there was not a price that filled at $9. So I would hope that nobody was stopped out here at that 9 or having that kind of slippage, positive slippage. But still, you don't want to see that happen where, if there's not a print at 9 or below 9, it shouldn't have happened. But you really don't know if there's not an order out or someone's not taking the opposite trade there. So but anyway, then we kind of reversed later in the day. So we came down. So the low we got into today was right around 3,300, right back into the low that we had yesterday. Not quite, it didn't quite get as far down. It got to, looks like 32.98 here. And yeah, 32.98, I think it was the low. Right? Okay, 32.97.87. I don't see that. Was that this candle? No. It's at the end of the day. The very end of the day, we ended up closing right at the low of the day, or slightly above it, but it was the last candle of the day that did that. But all I was talking about here is we did start to reverse. So we put in kind of some consolidation here and then broke down one more time and then bounced. So it's more of like a triple bottom, and broke back up. Like I said earlier, we got back up into kind of midway, about halfway back up into the range from here down to here. So, kind of a fib retracement and then rolled over. And that was another opportunity to buy here around 8, possibly a little bit lower around like 7, and just ride that up into 11, 10 or 11, depending on if you got it at 7 or got it at 8. So another 3 hours there at the end of the day. As the put was pulling back and this was rallying, you could have been in this option because this was the rally here, or probably would have moved to another option, maybe a little closer once this one got this low. So if we go look at, let's go look at 33.50 on the call and see what price it was at. So it did bounce off of like 11. So the low in here was 10.75. It did take out the low. So hang on. So we did take out the low through here on this pullback, this looking like a reversal off the 21 that just stopped in its tracks when we got back into the 32.90s and then bounced here. And I guess similar to yesterday, where we kind of had that sell off. This one was into the 21, sold off. It's that same kind of move here. And it just recovered quicker than yesterday. So today we had that same, too far. We had that same rollover off the 21 and then just recovered and pushed straight on through the 21 quickly, making this kind of a triple bottom shape, or definitely a reversal, or kind of a accumulation pattern that broke out then. So this would have been a better option to play that bullish move. You're paying up a little bit if you bought. I mean, you're kind of buying blind down here, other than just the RSI being at oversold on this candle, and that would have told you to buy. I mean, if you bought middle of that candle, that's like 11.50. So buying here 11.50 when you have the confluence, and then this candle, it comes all the way down to 10.75, and your stop would be at 10.50, and then it bounces, and you would have a target 3 hours up would be at 14.50, and that would have filled, looks like on this candle, right back into this resistance. So you're really just playing that move back into the 21. I guess slightly past it. Yeah, would have been into this candle, and it still had further to go. pushed all the way back up here. But at this point, you're kind of counter trend, but you're also expecting we should have some sort of bouncing happen. We didn't hardly pause at the 200 on the daily. We didn't really pause at that price today. We did kind of trade around it. So actually, let me look at the actual price, and then we'll go back and see. So the price is, it's not showing up. What is the 200 price? It is 33.11.11. So let's go back and look. So 33.11.11, that was this kind of resistance. Okay, so that was this level right here that we traded back up into here, and then back up into here, rolled over from, and then came back up. So 33.11.11 was right through here. So it makes sense that we came up and retested that level from above. We had kind of a doji candle here, another one here, just smaller candles right through or right on that. 33.11 was the low of this candle. So that makes sense that that's happening right there. Some indecision right on those candles. Let's see what we're going to do. Break down sharply and then recover, and then break down again, recover, break down again. So it's like, okay, now it's going to fail. Well, no, then it recovered and bounced back up. But, so that's probably that level. Sometimes you see those play out nicely. A level that's worked on the daily can work on the intraday. Case in point would be 33.66.80. So we've interacted with that both on Monday and Tuesday, and then we couldn't get back up there today. So we'll see if we do continue lower. It's not looking very strong right now. Even if we just draw this out for today, we definitely have some lower highs and then relative lows. So we could put in another day of some choppiness, or we could have a breakdown. And it's not out of the question that we do actually push back up to this and then roll down. So, but if we do stay in this kind of a choppy range through here, and we continue to make lower highs and relative lows, and even slightly, I guess, slightly higher lows. Let me switch over to the 30 minute, because I think the 30 minute has those shapes getting drawn. No, there it is. Yeah. Okay. So it's got some of the, oh, it's drawing from up there. I don't like that one, but it's got a target back up. So the low here, yeah, the way that this is drawing, where's this one showing up? It's not giving me a range of that one, not a target range. It gives me a target range on that one. That would be the green box, would be right back up to the 33.66.80 area. I know I'm saying a price, but it's still an area. And then the next line we've got down here is 32.48.95. So we're right in the middle of this range, and we've been in this kind of middle of the range before. So we can break down, go down to that. We could break out and come back up here, then roll down and chop around in there. But if you look back to the left, we've spent time interacting with these lines. We can go back a ways, I guess, but these lines are in here for a reason. We've interacted with them before, and I actually made it thicker, 33.66.80, because that one has been a really good level. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how we interact with these. Staying down here, staying kind of at this point of the initial sell-off from the head and shoulders is interesting. If that becomes kind of our apex of a triangle forming through here, then yeah, watch out. I would say watch out below, because this was a really good bounce here, that hammer, and we've already pushed through that, and now it's just a matter of consolidating kind of at that same range. So if you take this range of these candles, let me do this again. Take the range of these candles through here, and you push it out to the right here. So this is kind of the range we're talking about, consolidating with this triangle. So we'll see what happens if we can get go higher or go lower from this range, but I don't expect us to stay here for very long. All right, hope this helps. This is Just AMZN. Thanks.